What happens when a tomb gives back the stare of the dead? Welcome to History Reborn AI. History remembers the great through gold, through power, through masks built to outlast the flesh. But behind every legend waits disease, betrayal, and death that was never fully explained. Today, artificial intelligence brings 20 ancient faces back into the light. Stay until the very end, because Lady Dai never seemed to fully leave the world of the living. If one face haunts you more than the rest, we would love to know which. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Number 20. A woman in gold-painted cartonnage lies inside a Theban gallery case, her face frozen in eternal calm. She lived in the 9th century before Christ, in the 22nd dynasty, and her name was Djedmaatesankh. Her body remains sealed within its decorated shell, allowing CT scans to read her skull and teeth without ever breaking the casing that protects her. The public remembers her as an idealized face prepared for rebirth. The colder truth is dental disease, including a severe abscess hidden beneath that perfected mask. A body promised eternal perfection carried very human agony before it died. The coffin promised she would live forever. It never mentioned how much the living woman suffered. Number 19. A throat, preserved for 3,000 years, once carried prayers through the temple of Karnak. He was Nesyamun, a priest of the late 20th dynasty, and his mummy, coffin, and soft tissue allowed scientists to reconstruct a single sound from his ancient voice. The world remembers him as the priest who spoke again. The truth is smaller and colder. Only one short vowel returned. Not language, not prayer, only an echo of breath. A man who lived by his voice is remembered now through silence. Science gave him back a sound. 3,000 years of silence kept the rest. Number 18. Gold covered his body before it ever touched the earth. Around the 3rd century after Christ, along Peru's northern coast, a Moche ruler was buried in a tomb layered with skeletons, jewelry, and symbols of command. His skull, ornaments, and painted Moche portrait vessels made facial reconstruction possible, and the world calls him the Lord of Sipán. His public image is a ruler wrapped in gold, likened to an American Tutankhamun. The darker truth is simpler. His true name is gone. Companions and animals buried beside him suggest a ruler's authority extended into death itself, though every interpretation demands caution. Gold preserved his rank. No gold preserved his name. Number 17. A quiet nursemaid's face, unlined by royal privilege, returns through the scan of her own skull. Around 1490 before Christ, in early 18th dynasty Egypt, Lady Dai cared for the child who would become Queen Amos Nefertari. Her mummy's preserved arteries let researchers study her heart directly. The public remembers a servant standing near royalty. The colder truth is hardened arteries in a woman barely in her 30s, proof that heart disease is not only a modern affliction. She nurtured a dynasty, yet history barely nurtured her memory in return. She cared for a dynasty. No one remembers who cared for her. Number 16. Curled hair, careful teeth, and a painted coffin lid speak of privilege in ancient Thebes. Takabuti lived near the close of the 25th dynasty, in the 7th century before Christ. Her name recorded on her own coffin, alongside her mummified remains. The public remembers a noblewoman of evident status and beauty. The The truth is a young death from a severe back wound. And centuries later, a public unwrapping performed before an audience in Belfast. Religion promised her a dignified journey. Both death and modern spectacle stole her control over her own body. The coffin spoke her true name. History turned her into a performance. Number 15. A face rests in dark peat, so calm it seems only asleep. Around 390 before Christ, during the Iron Age in Denmark, the man later called Grauballe man died in violence and was placed into the bog that would preserve him whole. Skin, hair, nails, and teeth survived intact enough for full facial reconstruction. The public remembers a serene face suspended in time. The colder truth is a body marked by brutal death, whether punishment, sacrifice, or ritual still uncertain. His stillness masks a violence that was never explained. His face remains untouched. The reason for his death dissolved with those who placed him there. Number 14. Eyelids closed, lips softly parted, a leather cap still resting on his head. Sometime in the 4th century before Christ, in Iron Age Denmark, a man was strangled and laid in a bog, his face so peaceful his discoverers believed him newly dead. The rope still circles his throat, yet the meaning behind his death remains disputed, whether sacrifice, punishment, or communal ritual. The public remembers only tranquility. The truth may be far less merciful. Someone closed his eyes with care before the earth swallowed him. He looks like he is sleeping. No one knows who closed his eyes. Number 13. Curled in desert sand, tattooed skin still marks his story. Between roughly 3,350 and 3,100 years before Christ, in pre-dynastic Egypt, a young man known as Gebelein Man A was naturally preserved. His animal tattoos still visible on weathered skin. CT scans reveal a stab wound from behind, damage suggesting a sudden, violent attack whose perpetrator remains unknown. The public remembers a man curled peacefully, as if sleeping. The truth is an ambush that ended his life before history could record his name. His skin kept the symbols he chose. The world forgot who he was. Number 12. Beneath Siberian permafrost, tattooed skin waited 5,500 years to be seen again. In the 5th century before Christ, among the Pazyryk culture of the Altai highlands, a woman was buried with elaborate tattoos, clothing, and grave goods, later named the Princess of Ukok. Her title is a modern invention. Her royal status was never confirmed. After excavation, her remains became a battleground between scientific study and the demands of Altai communities seeking ancestral respect. Science wanted to read her body as evidence. Her descendants wanted her treated as someone's dead. The modern world calls her a princess. No one knows what she called herself. Number 11. Tattooed hands emerge from 22 wrapped layers, revealing a power once thought impossible. In the 4th century after Christ, within Moche culture on Peru's coast, the Lady of Tao was buried with symbols of command that reshaped assumptions about who could rule. Her skull, tattoos, and regalia allowed forensic reconstruction of her face. The public remembers proof that Moche leadership was not only male. The truth is a young death whose cause remains unconfirmed, and centuries of silence before her authority was recognized again. Every symbol of her power was buried beside her. Only her story was left unburied. Number 10. A jade mask waits inside a stone sarcophagus deep within a pyramid in the jungle. From the years 603 to 683, during the classic Maya period at Palenque, King Pakal ruled for nearly 7 decades. His skeleton, jade funeral mask, stucco portraits, and carved reliefs offer rare, layered evidence for reconstruction. The public often remembers his coffin lid through a sensational myth about ancient astronauts. The truth is a king who rebuilt Palenque after war and left detailed dynastic inscriptions. His real achievements eclipsed by spectacle. People stared at his tomb and saw a machine. They forgot to look down at a king made of bone. Number 9. A weathered face called the Elder Lady still carries the bearing of a queen. Sometime near the late 15th to 14th century before Christ, in 18th dynasty Egypt, Queen Tiye held influence rare among royal women, standing beside Amenhotep III in official art. Statues, reliefs, a lock of her hair, and CT data support her identification, though ancient DNA findings always demand careful interpretation. The public remembers an influential queen. The truth is, a family swept into Akhenaten's religious revolution, ending in political collapse, and a body later moved from its original tomb. She stood beside an empire at its height. Then she lived to watch its foundation crack. Number 8. Beneath preserved wrappings, a pharaoh once torn apart by thieves was carefully reassembled by priests who came after him. Amenhotep I ruled from around 1525 to 1504 before Christ, worshipped later as patron of the tomb builders of Deir el-Medina. His intact wrappings allowed a rare digital unwrapping through CT scanning without ever disturbing his body. The public remembers a revered, godlike king. The truth is a body damaged by grave robbers, and later repaired by devoted priests seeking to restore royal dignity. Even a deified king could not protect his own body from greedy hands. Thieves broke him apart. Those who came after tried to piece a king back together. Number 7. A skull marked by violent trauma still holds the memory of a war he never lived to see won. Around the mid-16th century before Christ, at the end of Egypt's 17th dynasty, Seqenenre Tao began the resistance that would later drive the Hyksos from Egypt. CT scans reveal severe head wounds, and the position of his hands suggests he may have been restrained, though this remains interpretation rather than confirmed fact. The public remembers a warrior king who lit the spark of liberation. The truth is that he never lived to see the victory. He began a war for freedom. Others claimed the glory once he lay inside his coffin. Number 6. A single ivory head buried in a royal tomb at Vergina may carry the face of history's most controversial king. Philip II of Macedon reigned from 382 to 336 before Christ, and though skeletal remains proposed as his rest within Vergina's royal tombs, scholars still dispute exactly which grave holds him. He is remembered as the one-eyed king who forged the army that let his son conquer the world. The truth is an assassination at his own daughter's wedding, and over 2,000 years of uncertainty about which bones are truly his. He gave his son an unfinished empire. History gave him back an uncertain grave. Number 5. A queen wearing the false beard of kings still divides history 2,000 years after her name was chiseled away. Hatshepsut lived roughly from 1497 to 1458 before Christ, ruling Egypt's 18th dynasty at the height of its stability. Statues, reliefs, and a mummy known as KV60A have been proposed as hers, though this identification remains contested among scholars. The public remembers a female pharaoh who dressed in the symbols of male power. The truth is that her name and image were later erased, likely for reasons of succession and legitimacy rather than simple revenge. She built monuments to make her name eternal. Those who followed used her own stone to bury that memory. Number 4. A colossal stone face at Abu Simbel dwarfs the aging body preserved beneath it centuries later. Ramesses II reigned from 1279 to 1213 before Christ. In Egypt's 19th dynasty, remembered as a builder, warrior, and living symbol of imperial power. His mummy, hair, skull data, and countless royal reliefs, including the Battle of Kadesh, remain for study. His inscriptions turned Kadesh into personal triumph, though history remembers a costlier, more complicated outcome. In old age, his body carried arthritis and dental disease, and after death, he was moved repeatedly to escape looters. He carved his name across an empire. In the end, his body had to be hidden to survive. Number 3. A frozen body, curled among the Alps, held its final hours inside melting ice for over 5,000 years. Between roughly 3,350 and 3,100 years before Christ, a man now called Ötzi carried tools, clothing, and tattoos that made him one of history's most complete ancient bodies. An arrowhead lodged in his shoulder suggests he may have fled or fought before he died, though the exact sequence remains unclear. The public remembers a lone traveler frozen mid-journey. The truth may be closer to a hunted man in his final hours. He prepared for cold, hunger, and altitude. What he may not have prepared for was another human being. Number 2. A golden mask conceals a fragile young man whose short reign became eternity's most famous burial. Tutankhamun lived from roughly 1341 to 1323 before Christ in Egypt's 18th dynasty. His mummy, over 1,000 CT scans, golden mask, and painted throne provide extraordinary material for reconstruction. The public remembers golden glory, the most dazzling symbol in Egyptian archaeology. The truth is a young man with health problems, a possible clubfoot, and traces of malaria, though the exact cause of death and interpretation of ancient DNA remain debated. His reign achieved little compared to greater kings, yet his nearly untouched tomb made him the most famous of all. In life, he was only a boy king lost in chaos. Death turned him into gold. Number 1. A body more than 2,000 years old still bends at the joints, its skin, veins, and organs intact enough to horrify modern pathologists. Zhui, known as Lady Dai, died around 168 before Christ during the Western Han Dynasty in Changsha, China. Her preserved body, skull, funeral silk banner, 4 nested coffins, and recent digital models at multiple ages give researchers unmatched material for reconstruction. The public remembers a Han noblewoman surrounded by silk, lacquer, music, and rituals promising immortality. The colder truth is a body riddled with disease, likely heart trouble, worsened by luxury and inactivity, though gallbladder issues have also been proposed. Her tomb defeated decay. It could not save her from the very body that once fed her life of excess. "20 faces have returned, but far more stories remain buried in shadow." Subscribe to History Reborn AI and help us awaken the forgotten voices of history, one grave at a time.